behind us.
Shit. We're under siege. They're everywhere.
Andor is peak sci-fi, and is the best Star Wars project since Revenge of the Sith. Actually no, it's the best project since Empire Strikes Back. The best piece of media to drop on the Disney Plus platform, but also just top tier television in general.
Yes! Hell yeah! Hey, come on, baby! Come on!
I've pretty much come to the conclusion ever since the mighty overlords that is the House of Mouse have taken over the galaxy far, far away, that they will be the death of me due to how they butcher the story millions of people love. But throughout this new canon, there are two projects that have stood out for me personally. Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and the latest project to drop, Andor. Everything else can piss off, legit ranging from mid to I don't even want to talk about it. But I'll give Mandalorian a thumbs up.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.
Andor is a mature, tragic, no cheesy dialogue, no cringe humour, and no barrages of fan service from other projects to get audiences excited and buy heaps of merchandise, banking on the personal nostalgia just for the sake of them to watch it. It's an espionage heist hybrid show set during an intergalactic war, and that's what it is from beginning to end. Andor, similar to Rogue One, puts the war in Star Wars. A lot less black and white and a full grey area of all the characters on the board. And low-key, it's the Star Wars I dig the most, and don't get me wrong, I love the good versus bad dynamic of the original films, that endorphin rush that you get when there's an epic operatic battle happening on screen between hero and villain. But from all the Star Wars I've been exposed to, I've got to put realism over escapism on this one. And I want to say it's a reason why I love the Battlefront series so much. Most of my favourite story arcs I gravitate to in the Clone Wars strictly focus on the well-being of the Domino Squad, Captain Rex, the Republic Commandos, and the Clone Troopers as a whole, none of them being plot armor Jedi. Set during the period where the Empire is at its peak of power and in a complete jurisdiction of the galaxy, we follow Cassian Andor, played by Diego Luna, reprising his role from Rogue One, taken away from his village as a young kid growing up to be a smuggler, spy, saboteur, thief, you know, every other person fighting back against their oppression of their evil government. Trying to escape from his own mess, killing 2 security guards in cold blood in the first episode.
We're going together. I'll tell them what happened.
The repercussions of that spread into this amazing butterfly effect, leading into a city siege, a nail-biting heist, to an impossible prison breakout. We bump into Luthen, a revolutionary leader who wants to see the Empire fall by any means necessary. From then on, we are literally witnessing the tiny spark of what eventually becomes the rebellion several years later. From both the soldier's perspective, as well as the political perspective with Mon Mothma and her story with the Galactic Senate. Now, I've heard many others say that this side plot kind of feels disconnected from the rest of the show. And yeah, it does slow down, just pretty much a dining room or a formal party scene between aristocrats and politicians. But people tend to forget how big of a player Mon Mothma is in the uprising of the rebellion and the eventual New Republic. Sacrifice and pain is being depicted from all viewpoints, whether that be the lone soldiers on the ground fighting the physical battles, as well as the senators fighting the equally difficult legal battle trying to fund this uprising. I also want to talk about how the Galactic Empire is depicted in this. I know everyone here is fond of the original films and how fun they are. However, it is very memeable and jarring on how unintimidating stormtroopers and Imperials are in the films. Minus Darth Vader and Grand Moff Tarkin, of course. I'm so happy that finally someone actually made the Empire hella scary for once. Every time that they're on screen, you feel their presence even if they're not on screen. It's like the characters and even the audiences always have to look constantly over their shoulder because you don't know who's going to rat you out. Like genuinely, there's a time when an Imperial guard is just walking past the main character and you're like, crap, did they clock on there with imposters? There is no escape, there is no hiding from the Empire. I'm amazed how they portray an ICB supervisor to be way more intimidating than any Imperial Inquisitor that we've seen in live action. Also, in terms of visual aesthetic, you can feel the production was put in. Yes, the Force is definitely strong with this one. Andor has one of the best, if not the best, visual set pieces in all the franchise. In addition to the vast character depth of the cast within the narrative, from grizzled old veterans who have lost everything to the cause taking down a totalitarian regime, down on his luck bureaucrat depressed with his life trying to make a name for himself in the galaxy, the young rebel who's inexperienced in the field but has a giant drive to change things, having everyone root for him, and a mother fighting for the greater good of the galaxy yet having to sacrifice her family sadly, to even probably the most unexpected character, a B2 droid who really pushes the debate that droids are as equally as sentient as humans. Andor deserves a gold medal for how stunning, how invigorating, and how refreshing it is. The rise of the Empire era is a time period that still has been briefly touched in live action, and genuinely I can't wait to see more.